Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're NB Board Gaming. And today we are counting down our top 10 villainous characters. We decided to do this because we love Villainous. We actually just went to Disney World. It was his first time. I've been, but we had a blast, and this was something that we've been wanting to do. We've been wanting to count down our top 10 for a while, and they keep coming out with new characters, so that's been, pretty cool too. So we decided, we'll make our lists, and then we'll combine them, and we'll see where they fall.
Yeah. And what was interesting was right before we created this list, they actually had just announced a new set.
Yes.
Which is interesting as well. So if you like Villainous, they just announced a new set that is going to feature 2 Pixar characters. So they're going to have Lotso from Toy Story. They're going to have Syndrome from The Incredibles, and also one from, I think it was Madame Mim or something Mim.
Yeah, Madame Mim from the Stone.
King of the Sword or something like that.
Yeah.
Some older one, probably older than us. So.
Yes, I think it's the one where there's the giant stone and he pulls the sword out or something
right. Is it like
that.
a King Arthur tale or something?
Something
I'll have to watch
that.
it. Apparently.
Yeah, it's an older one. But I love Disney. We actually decided to get Villainous just because of my love for Disney. And so he got me the first game. I fell in love with it. And then we got all the expansions.
Yeah, because we had played it at first with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed it. Although it was kind of trial by fire. But we were like, we've got to get it and try it out. And and ever since then we have gotten all the expansions and plan on getting this next one.
Yep.
Which I'm pretty excited about with Lotso and Syndrome. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I feel like with Lotso especially, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
To see him as a villain. But yes, so we are going to start with our honorable mentions because we had 2 of them that we almost made it on the list, but we still wanted to give them some love. So my honorable mention is actually Ursula. Her objective is to get the crown and the
Trident.
Why am I blanking already? Yes, the trident back to her lair. So that is her objective. I really enjoy playing her. She is a little more difficult to play compared to the other characters, in my opinion. She, the heroes really help her to not win. So, yeah, Ursula, would say is my honorable mention.
Yeah, and what's interesting with her is you don't really vanquish with her. You have those those contracts.
Yes,
right,
she has no vanquish action. So you're like, okay, how do I get rid of these heroes?
Right.
So it's a little more difficult than the ones that do have the ability to vanquish.
Right. I remember the very first time you played her, you were very frustrated.
I was, because I came so close to getting. I had the crown and the trident. And I had to get it back to her lair, and I could not get it back to her lair. I think someone, can't remember who won, but someone else won before.
Andy, because he had Prince John, and all you had to do was get 20 power.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not even fair. I had to work really hard to do that.
Right.
So yeah, what was your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention is, I hope I say his name right. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. It's Dr. Facier from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
I really like this character just because I feel like that different. One I'll say right away. Every single one of these villainous characters, except for I guess I don't know about Pete. I don't know if he actually feels. I never watched Steamboat Willie or anything like that. But I feel like every single one of the villains in Villainous feel like the actual villain that you see in the movies.
Yes.
And the same thing with every single one of these. So I'll just kind of throw that out there. But with him, it's really cool because you have this like pick a card. You play this card that says let the cards tell, or the cards can tell, or something like that. And you kind of lay out all your fake cards, and your opponent picks 3. And then depending on what they pick, you'll get rewards or consequences. But what you're trying to do is trying to rule New Orleans and also be in control of the talisman. And so again, just very, very true to the movie.
It's very thematic.
All the artwork from all these are also from the movies or from the shows and stuff. Again, I don't know about Steamboat Willie. That was way before my time. But it was really nice. I thought he played very differently from a lot of some of the characters that didn't make this list that I felt were just kind of okay to play. But I just liked his uniqueness. I think he is, again, another one that is pretty difficult to play, but he is very fun as well. So my honorable mention is Dr. Facier.
Okay. All right. So starting out at number 10, we have the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. She is one of my favorites. I enjoy playing her because she is very different. Her objective is that you have to get wickets, which are those birds that she turns upside down, and she uses them as like pretty much to play croquet.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to get a wicket at each location and take a shot. And so I thought that was really interesting, and you actually like turn the cards to the side when you officially make it a wicket. And so, yeah, I thought it was just a different way to play. And I thought it did feel very thematic too.
Right. And I take some credit for this one being so low on the list, because I know it is your number one, but it is my number 18. It is my least favorite character, but she loves it. So my ranking kind of pulled it down a little bit when we were making the list.
At least it made the top 10. I was happy about that.
Right, yeah. I wasn't. No, I'm just kidding. So number 10, Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts, yep.
So number 9 is from the, newest set, because the next one's not out yet until March. And that is Gaston. So I wasn't really sure if I would like this newest set that came out with Lady Tremaine and Gaston and the Horned King. But Gaston, I actually really like playing. His whole objective is that you are trying to remove these obstacles. So every single spot on your board, you have 2 obstacles, and you have to go around and you have to remove these obstacles from your board. There are cards that you can play that will forthright just clear the obstacles for you. But then there is that kind of give and take, because you don't get a lot of power with Gaston to where you can replace these obstacles and get a lot of power to then buy more or be able to spend more cards and put more cards out and everything. And then as well, when you have being fated, a lot of them add obstacles onto your board. They might bring out extra cards when you play these heroes, or if Belle is out there, you can't remove any obstacles. And so I really liked, I liked that little added trying to get all these tokens off. Which sounds a little easier said than done, but I mean, you are removing 8 of them. And so it can get a little expensive to try and remove them. So I do like Gaston. That is my our number 9.
All right, number 8.
Number 8. So I will also talk about number 8. Number 8 is the villain from my second favorite Disney movie of all time. We might as well talk about that too. My our number 8 is from my second favorite Disney movie of all time, which is Aladdin. So yes, I am talking about Jafar. So I love the movie Aladdin. It was one of my favorites growing up, obviously. But I really like this one where you start off and you have to unlock the Cave of Wonders, and you have to have the little scarab as well to do that. And then you have to get the lamp, which brings out the genie, and then you have to get the lamp. You have to, what is it? What is the word for it? You have to kind of get the, what is it? Like persuade the genie. I can't remember what it was exactly. What you have to do. I have the actual thing right here too. I can't remember, but you have to. I don't know if it's defeat the genie or whatever. But then you have to get the lamp.
Don't you have to have the genie under your control?
Something like that. But then I can't remember. But I remember. I love it. I promise. And then you have to get the lamp all the way back to the Sultan's palace or whatever. And so to me, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Obviously, there's a little bit of luck on getting the cards that you need in order to do the things that you need to do, and make sure you unlock everything. So, I mean, it is a bit of a process, but again, I feel like it's very thematic. The whole idea of trying to opening up the Cave of Wonders and getting the scarab and then getting the lamp back to the Sultan's palace or whatever. And it was, it was really fun. So yeah, number 8, Jafar.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps involved with him. So number 7 is Lady Tremaine, and if you don't know who that is, she is actually the evil stepmother from Cinderella. So her objective, which is also very thematic, her goal is to get the evil stepsisters to marry the prince. So it's really cute. You know, there's a lot of the heroes, like I remember some of the heroes were the mice.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, of course they were helping out Cinderella. But yeah, the objective is that. It's very plain and simple, but she's also fun to play. I feel like it's not boring. She's not boring to play. She is easier to play. So if you want an easier character, I would say she's a good one.
I think so. Okay.
But she is also, I think when I looked at it and they were talking about level of difficulty, she was like moderate, but she's easy to learn. She's one of the easier ones. So,
well, you have to get them in like their ballroom dress or ball gown.
yeah, you have to get them in the right dress. So you have to look for those cards and get those, you know, obviously in order to get them to the right place, to get them in the dress and all that kind of thing. So it's not too easy to the point where I think it's just boring. You know, like I do like to play her. I feel like it does give you a little more, it's a little more in depth. So yep, Lady Tremaine is number 7.
All right, number 6 is from my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Of all time.
The Lion King. So we were talking about Scar.
Yep.
Now, I mean, for me, Scar doesn't seem I don't think he's very difficult to play. And not to say that the ones that aren't difficult aren't fun. They're just, I like ones that add a little bit more of a challenge. And this one is okay of a challenge, I guess. So with Scar, you have a succession pile that you are creating. And what that means is you have to kind of accumulate a certain amount of power from heroes that you defeat in your succession pile, right? But you cannot start that pile until you defeat Mufasa. So you have to kill Mufasa first. He goes into your succession pile, and then every hero after that, you, instead of putting them in your fate discard, like with a lot of the characters, instead they're going to go into your succession pile, and you have to get so much power in that succession pile to essentially, I guess, prove that you are the king, you know, that you are the true king. No one can defeat you, kind of thing. So that's the whole idea behind Scar. I just love the Lion King, so he was gonna make this list if I had to will it, no matter what. So
yeah, definitely.
So he's not my number 1 favorite, but I really do like him just because I like that movie. So number 6 is Scar.
All right. Number 5 is Mother Gothel. She is from the movie Tangled. She is I guess you could call her the adoptive mother of...
Another evil mother.
Adoptive mother of Rapunzel.
You like a lot of evil mothers. Should I be concerned?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. Actually, Mother Gothel to me is... You feel bad for her. You know, she didn't have kids of her own and she gets one, but she's obsessed with her hair and it's magical and all. I won't go into the movie. But anyway, yeah, so Mother Gothel, her objective is to obtain 10 trust. Now, the trust is not the same as power. If you played Villainous before where you like gain power, you have a separate pile that is trust. And so you're trying to gain trust, obviously, to get Rapunzel, to be stuck in her tower, and that is her objective. But she is also another one, feels very thematic. Hers is not difficult to play, but is very thematic, and I love, you know, they throw in her like evil henchmen that are her allies.
Right.
And so they assist her, and they're the ones from the movies, and so it's a pretty cool character to play.
Because you have to build up trust Because every time she gets to the end, she loses trust, and you got to kind of keep building that trust up.
Right, and Rapunzel can then like move around too. You know, she's
At the end of every round, she moves like one
space. Yeah, so that's the tricky part.
You have to constantly be aware of where she's moving.
Yes,
and constantly trying to move her back.
That's the struggle with playing her. Is you've got to keep track of Rapunzel at all times.
Right.
Yep. So she is Mother Gothel's number 5.
Number 5. All right. Number 4 is probably my favorite villain. Actually, our favorite villain when it comes to just because I think she is so comical.
Yes.
And that is Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. So Yzma, if you haven't seen the movie, is just hilarious. Just a dainty old lady who is always grouchy and, evil, obviously.
Yeah.
Because she's a villain. So with Yzma, what you are trying to do is the objective sounds easy, right? You have to defeat Cusco using Gronk.
Yep.
Right? And so, but here's the thing, is that first you got to get Gronk, right? You got to get him out, find the card, get him out there, right? But then every time Gronk moves, you put a power token on him. And as soon as he gets 3 power tokens on him, he becomes a hero. And then you have to fight him. And Gronk is very strong. I think he's like a 6. He's pretty tough. And so you're constantly aware of, I want to be able to move him to help fight with him, but then I'm going to add power and I have to get that power taken off. And there's cards that allow you to take all that power off. But again, kind of like with Mother Gothel, you kind of always have to be aware of, that kind of give or take. I want to be able to move so I can use him to fight against these heroes, but there's possibility that I lose control of him. And so, which is very much Gronk.
It is.
He's got that. He's got that angel and devil on his shoulders telling him what to do. And I think it's just hilarious how you have to kind of battle with that, going back and forth.
Yeah.
And so, and all I can think of are all the stupid things Gronk says in the movie when I play. And he's just being super silly. So
we watched that when we came back from Disney World because we were like, we haven't watched this in a while. And then we were like binge watching Disney movies. But before we went and after we came back. But we watched it and I was like, I just forgot how much I love this movie. And Yzma is so funny. I mean, and Gronk is hilarious. I mean, they're like the perfect villain team.
Right.
But they're so funny.
Gronk's not really a villain. He's just funny.
Yeah, he's just like her
And then you have
assistant.
David Spade as Cusco, which is so fun. But anyway, number 4, Yzma.
Yep. All right, number 3 is the Evil Queen from Snow White. Her objective, very simple, defeat Snow White. But it sounds easier than it is because there's also, you got to get her to take that poison apple, and then, there's spells involved and all kinds of stuff. So,
and you have to decide because you have power and then you have poison. It's super interesting.
Yeah. So what I love about Villainous is every character is just so different.
Right.
And they really think out how the game is played based on that specific villain.
Using very few tokens and or I guess even just materials in general. Because everybody's pretty much a deck of cards and your player board.
Yeah.
That's about it. Sometimes you have little tokens and whatnot, but still very, very minimalistic.
Yes, definitely. So Evil Queen, she is number 3. And number 2 is me, too.
Yes.
Number 2, and one of my absolute favorites, is Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Her objective is to get a curse at each location. She is easier to play, so if it is your first time playing, I would recommend playing Maleficent. I think when we played this with my mom, we were like, all right, you play Maleficent, and it was easy for her to grasp.
Did she play it? I thought you did.
No, she played Maleficent.
Are you sure? Because I remember telling her to gang up on you. Because I was like, she's got 3 curses. She only needs 1 more.
I think I've played Maleficent. I've played Maleficent a lot, but we played with my mom because she wanted to play, and we were like, well, let's give her an easier one because she's never played before.
Okay.
She's not necessarily a board gamer. So, yeah. But she did, and I remember maybe we ganged up on you. I can't remember.
Well, that's a given all the time.
Yeah, it's probably true. So yeah, Maleficent, and it's cool because she has different curses too, and you know, they're all different and just really unique. And then
it's funny because they can kind of put you in a corner. Because the
Yeah,
one is
'cause-
like if you play it here, you can't like come back. Or
Right.
you lose the curse.
Yeah.
And so you go from having 4 spaces to going down to 3.
Yeah, so it does make it a little bit trickier. It's not like, oh yeah, just easily just put 4 curses out and you're done. But if you put out a certain curse, it's like, okay, hey, you can't go here anymore.
Right. They each have like little stipulations.
Yeah. And then, you know, I mean, that obviously hurts because you've only got 3 locations that you can go to. And then if you have heroes on top of that, that lessens the amount of actions you get.
Yep. Fate Maleficent a lot.
Yeah, it's a constant battle.
Right.
So yeah, Maleficent is number 2.
All right, and that brings us to our number 1 villainous character, which we both really, really like. This is very high. This is my number 1. I think this is your number 3 or number.
It might have been like 4 or 5.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I don't remember. But anyway, very high on our list, and that is Hades from Hercules. He's the villain from Hercules. And so with Hades, what you are trying to do is you are trying to get 3 titans from the underworld all the way to Mount Olympus. Okay? And you have to move them 1 space at a time, obviously. And as you're doing this, your opponents are going to be trying to trap them or trying to get you to use them to fight off heroes, and then you have to discard them and wait until you get more of them. I love this one because, one, all the art and all these are good, but I just love the look of the Titans on the cards. I love just the look of it. I love the mini, like all of the little sculpts or miniatures that you get for each one.
Oh,
They're so abstract, but yet really kind of bring in that, you know, that the feeling of each villain.
Yeah.
And so I really like that. But this one just even more so. I really like the little miniature.
They did a great job of the
art.
miniatures. I'm glad you mentioned that because they did a great job with the miniatures.
And so, but I like this one too, where you can, if they trap them, you have to turn them sideways, and everybody's constantly aware of how many Titans you got over there, how many do you have out, and how you know how often we need to fate them, and that kind of stuff. And so I really like that. There is cards that let you attach items that you can attach. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a little potion that you attach to the Titan. And if you ever use that Titan to fight off a hero, you don't have to have them die. You can, I think, get rid of that card instead, so you don't lose your Titan. But it is definitely my favorite to play. I love to play it. I love playing this. We both love playing this game. We played this at 6. We played it at 2. We played it at 4. We played it every player count I think possible. And it is so funny to just be like, everybody's got an eye on everybody. Be like, you gotta get them, fade them. Hey, no, fade him. No, fade. Everybody's on the verge of winning. You gotta fade everybody. And so it is such a fun game. So much excitement. I feel like every single time we play. So if you haven't checked out Villainous, highly recommend it. If you're like, well, there's Disney Villainous and then there's Marvel Villainous, go with Disney Villainous. In our opinion, we've played the Marvel Villainous, don't care for it at all.
Yeah, it's not as
I don't like the communal fate deck. It's not I don't like it. Disney Villainous is great, and the expansions sell well. The last expansion did so well that they're coming out with this new one. And so I'm hoping that one sells well and they can continue to go on and on. And so I'm excited for the new sets. We'll definitely be getting them. At some point I'm going to need a bigger box.
Yeah.
Because I've managed to fit them all into 2 boxes, but I'm going to need a bigger box. So hopefully, you know, Ravensburger can get on that kind of thing. But we just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our top 10 Disney villainous characters. Look forward to some more Disney videos. We're actually going to be shooting another Disney video that we were inspired to do after going to Disney World. And so we are going to be doing our top 10 Disney rides. So look out for that video. I know it's not board game related, but maybe something people would enjoy. If not, we're gonna have fun.
If you like to travel,
right? Yeah.
You know.
If you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to Disney, what should I ride?
Yeah.
This would be a great list. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the little bell icon so you get a notification every single time we post a video. And we will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye.